Well, let's go. Okay, let's just start with this basic, which is I don't even know if we want. I want to start there. I kind of want to start with his leadership.
All right.
So people can't be revived. So that gets rid of ARC troopers, turret text of when he's revived, you get another turret.
So, biggest story to me first, and they actually posted this in the developer insights, is I'd actually just talked about this on stream right when I lost. They aren't planning for Ahsoka to go on 5.0 first. Which I don't know how I feel about that. Like, why give her the? I mean, they gave her.
Why give her a tag?
Why give her the basic functionality? I mean,
to be on the team. I mean, I guess if some people want to put her on there, that's fine. I get it, but it just doesn't make. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't make any kind of sense.
But we've got an archer to go through as well.
But again, my point is, you now have a 4-slot area you need to fill with 5 people.
Right.
So, I mean, I guess if you're using Rex somewhere else as a leader, you can put Ahsoka in, or I don't know, but I mean, that just takes away from.
Ahsoka's good on Padme. I think she's fine there. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I agree with that. So there's our crit damage, 50%.
50% crit damage. She's got 50% crit chance. Like, high relic General Skywalker is. His modding is going to be so easy to optimize for damage if that's the way it goes.
Oh yeah. Now hold on. Actually, I want to start with the whole advanced and cover thing, because that is very obviously it's a unique thing, but I really want to go back to what I was saying and now that I've read this more, I think you have to go mod it, or you have to mod for max protection. That way it just takes them fucking forever to get through his protection, and then he regains 10% max protection every turn while he's in cover. So the more protection you have, the quicker potentially he could get protection back. But I still kind of like the concept of not modding for anything or for any protection, and it's like it's constantly cycling like this auto taunt. So like it comes up quicker. I guess it's kind of like with the argument of speed on Jordica.
Let's think through what's the actual experience of killing this team going to have to be.
So it's gonna have to be. You have to focus down Skywalker.
You get Skywalker below 100% protection, right? And then that opens up his team.
Yes.
You have to kill his team, and then it's a final standoff with him. That's what I'm getting out of this so far.
Yeah, absolutely. But then when it's the final standoff with him, he has 100% counter chance, 50% crit chance, and he gains 35% turn meter after every enemy turn.
So my biggest question going into this kit reveal is, we've got Relic 7 Jedi Knight Anakin, we've got Relic 7 Raid Han and all of that, and I was curious how they were going to, how do they make this character matter in this meta with all these toys flying around? Check the article you just sent from StarWars.com. Let's see. It's not really spaced out. Oh, it actually lines up perfectly. That's convenient.
What?
Here you go. Is there any new info on here? I think we have most of what we need to know from here. Yeah, I'll check it out later. I think it looks like they're really trying to push his defensive max protection ratio here, so I think you have to mod for protection.
Yeah, you think you do.
Like, he's the locking key that you need to get through.
Yeah.
To open the team up. So I would say they didn't give him official anti-burst, but I'm probably gonna write that down as the first pro. Is you're not just gonna be able to run Relic 7 Jedi Anakin and pop goes the 501st.
Well, here's the other thing that's interesting is you can't hurt everyone else in the 501st doesn't lose health when he's taunting, but they can lose all their protection. So the big thing that says to me is Night Sisters is a horrible fucking team against
Night Sisters and Sorry to say, Clash, we had a bet that was potentially going to happen today. I don't think he wants to take that bet. Actually, he's got some stuff going with Veteran Han. I'd have to think through. It's possible Veteran Han could go like crazy tank again, but I just don't really. No, Rex would just one-shot him. Nope, I don't think Scoundrels can beat this.
Rex. Yeah, no, Scoundrels. There's no way.
If
Rex would just fucking dick all over them.
Yeah. There's so much to work through here. I mechanically I really like this execution. It makes the squad feel unique. It's not just throwing.
Well, the biggest thing I like about him is he's kind of like a Swiss Army knife in a way with the rest of his abilities.
So
how you can combo each of them in together for different effects and different like what you're looking for in that situation. So it's kind of nice to have. You have the armor shred, you have actually I think more than anything, the force grip, which is the AoE daze for 2 turns. That one's pretty fucking strong. Oh, sorry, I'll watch my language for the rest of it.
I don't know how YouTube works. I don't really care. I swear like a ceiling.
Yeah, but I just
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Biggest money question in my opinion is how is the AI ever supposed to successfully beat this?
That's actually something I thought about. I thought about if you put this team on defense or I don't. Well, no.
Like a player, like I have no doubt that we can think of a counter.
No, yeah. If
that will
take
get
this
through
on
these
offense,
steps.
I could almost just put this on auto for a lot of teams, and it just takes care of itself.
Like the AI is so poorly equipped to deal with any of this stuff, any of these choices. Oh. Arc Trooper should be 5 for his clone trooper. So that actually makes that should make 5s and Rex actually more valuable now. That was the other thing, is Ahsoka as a 5th on the team made me really uncomfortable. Because I mean, look, Rex lowering 5s and Echo cooldowns, like that's neat.
But if he's lowering, no, the big thing that's important that he's lowering now is he's lowering the assign command on Arc Trooper, which when you assign a command, it's going to give the blaster turret. Basically, that blaster turret's going to be assisting everybody when they use an ability on their turn, or if they call Arc Trooper to assist. And that's the whole concept here. Is if with them lowering these cooldowns, that blaster turret is going to be laying down fields of fire.
Plus, the blaster turret is basically the Ahsoka stand-in.
Yeah, absolutely.
I did see. Where's the remove? One of the yeah. So supposedly this text right here, it looks really unassuming, but supposedly this mechanic dispels locked buffs. So that's gonna make some things weird. I actually, honestly, I'm trying to think of all the meta teams right now. Like,
well, so wait, that's gonna remove. Yeah, so that'll remove Fracture. That'll remove Isolate. There's one more I'm missing. I guess Plague, but no, sorry, Plague is not locked.
Hang on, let me see this again. How's a new keyword remove? Okay, so he can't dispel non-dispellable buffs. He's just cleansing himself, right?
That's what it sounds like.
So that's not as crazy. I was gonna say, like, if he's stripping Malik's offense stacks or something, that's a little bit wild. He was a guest, just a friend I know from real life. Actually, honestly, if any of you want to hop in, I'm kind of down. The more the merrier. This is... Let me check the net.
Let me read this again. Because I don't know, that actually does sound...
He has starting tenacity, so General Skywalker lead actually has potential opening control if he can get ahead of Rex.
Well, yeah, I mean, but he has starting tenacity. He gains 25% for every 501st person, so he's getting 100% tenacity, 100% defense, and 60% max protection from everybody. And then when everybody is 501st, he also gets 100% counter and crit chance. So
actually, honest question. How essential is this leadership really instead of Rex lead? You keep the advanced cover mechanic. So, like, for defense, I would say absolutely. But
I mean, I think he makes... So offensively, all he really provides, I see in the leadership, is the crit damage and the offense stacking.
he has protection regen. The team does not. So that's a one banner difference between his lead and Rex lead. If you're just looking to gun people down with Rex.
Yeah.
Hang
I
on.
mean,
How much does he have baked into the leader slot? That's the biggest question. Nothing. Wow. Wait. Okay. Thinking Padme lead. I was actually honestly expecting way more 5-0 first text to be baked into him. The lead is pure 5-0 first.
Yep.
For each other 5-0 first ally. Like, I feel like if you just want a kill team, Shakti lead 5-0 first actually might still be on the table.
I think so too.
I mean, 50% critical chance, depending on his... Is he special damage or physical damage? Does anybody know yet? Physical... Physical, okay. So relics are giving him crit chance. Like the counter chance, let's see, basic effects. I think it was just ignore defense. Yeah.
Yeah. No, his basic and telekinesis is supposed to ignore defense. The other two do not.
You lose the when all other allies are defeated, but if you're using this team on offense, that if you reach that point where you need that, I think Houston has a problem. Con, sorry, I didn't finish writing this out. Silas, lead. So that's the thing too. Rex will give the team tenacity, so like General Skywalker should act as a bootleg Jolie here. Let's see. AoE days. Hurts General Skywalker, so beating Rex out of the gate is going to be essential if CLS even works. Man. Okay, so the AI, I'm going to be really curious to see what the AI order is on this too.
Go for the days in the armor shred.
Yeah, right? Because like when we first saw Padme, it's like, oh man, imagine that, like, trying to beat this team on defense, she uses the shield immediately, and then we find out that she opens with the stun move.
Well, I don't necessarily... So I'm trying to figure out in my head right now if he's a better offense or defense team.
That's where I'm at.
And in terms of tankiness and, like, I think being a pain in the ass to deal with...
Just from a sheer, he's new, people aren't going to know how to beat him most of the time from those people you run into.
But I'm trying to think farther. I'm trying to think farther beyond that. When people have actually fought him more, people understand the mechanics a little bit better. When we see them in action, is he truly going to be someone that is a good defense or offense? And I kind of lean more to offense.
I think he's going to be a free win on offense, but you're going to get taxed on banners. I don't see how you can't avoid that.
I mean, that's what I was thinking about is you get taxed on banners, but he's a free win. Versus on defense, he will be a pain in the ass, but the AI won't necessarily use his kit to its full abilities. So, and then on defense, if I have him on defense, I'm trying to think about what people will need to run against it on defense to make his life a living hell.
I don't think that I can chop it. I don't see...
No, I don't either.
I mean, Trey Elite could maybe tax down Echo, but I don't think... I don't see how that could... Like, they just don't have the tools to deal with this. Well, let's see. Taunt which can't be dispelled or prevented. So Isolate's going on him.
Mm-hmm.
Echo's going to be assisting. Not like crazy. It's only on basic attack, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So. Fact check myself.
Now, what I want to know though is, so even with his taunt, will people like Bulba and Django be able to ignore his taunt and still hit everybody else?
On paper, I don't see any reason why not. Like, taunt ignore should still be fair game, which is why I was kind of thinking, well, with taunt ignore, I mean, because of the way the mechanics work, you could maybe strip down 5s a little bit and then try to, like, I'm curious, order of operations is actually going to be pretty huge for this team, because, like, if you can try to tee up, like, say that you drop Anakin to 0% protection at the same time that you would start doing health damage to other 5-0 first, then you're technically gaining some progress. You're gaining some time there.
Well, ideally for me, I'm thinking of a team that has the perfect combination, and this is going against the perfect combination of AoE damage, because remember, you could still do protection damage to everybody else while Anakin is taunting. You can't just remove their health. So finding a team that does enough AoE damage, but then has enough single fire power damage to beat down his potentially absurd amount of protection. Yeah, I do agree that the flexibility for this team is kind of...
Wait, what did I write that as a pro?
No, you wrote that as a con.
No, I wrote it as both. Okay. I mean, let's think about this. Jedi Knight Revan with him. Not baked into Galactic Republic, is he? I don't even think I've seen any.
Well, actually, Revan might work interestingly because his mark will allow you to... Well, no, it doesn't fucking matter. Because even if you beat down other people, like, even if you mark Rex, you can't kill him until you put Anakin in cover.
Like, considering how they've been designing things lately, I'm pretty amazed that there's no, like... There's barely any text of, like, has to be 5-0 first, has to be Galactic Republic. I mean, you lose out on this. At Jedi Urban Lead, you lose the leadership, but...
Now that is interesting, how Annihilate is going to work on General Anakin.
Where are you seeing that? Is that the developer insights?
Siri in chat put Annihilate for the win, question mark.
That's the big thing I'm going to be curious about is, like, is Annihilate just going to override this? Can't drop below 100% health. We haven't really seen that much definitive text like this. I mean, we've seen, like, Padme, like, can't be debuffed. Or, like, resist all debuffs. No, I think the most absolute was probably Bastila with Corrupted Battle Meditation.
Yeah. Let's go to...
I feel like we just have a new word tier. Like, we have resisted, irresistible, and now just can't happen?
And Annihilate reads, instantly defeat target enemy.
Can't lose health.
This ability can't be evaded.
There's a whole lot of can in this kit. Holy shit.
Well, here's the thing, though. Can you annihilate Anakin instantly?
You know what? If ARC Trooper's on this team, how fast is this turret coming out?
Most turret, he starts with a turret.
It should be immediate, right, with Rex?
Yeah, no. I think it reads like he starts with the turret. Summon the turret, unique. But the turret attacks when the ARC Trooper is called to assist, or if somebody with the command effect on them uses an ability during their turn.
So here's where I'm going with this. Turret gives Nihilus 6 drain targets. So Traya reduces him. He drains 6 people. That's an immediate Annihilate.
Yeah, so...
there's got to be some catch here, I feel like.
I honestly feel like Annihilate's the biggest answer to this team, especially if they run Arc Trooper. You drain.
Actually, that's a good point. I'm almost positive. I use Nihilus against the bugs, and then he gets 6 cooldowns, right? How can we test this?
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any cooldowns to increase.
Oh, but the bug has a cooldown. That's a really good point. Basic and unique. Interesting.
Yeah, so Annihilate, honestly, is the biggest counter to General Skywalker right now.
Yeah, but if Turret can't actually decrease his cooldowns, then you're looking at a turn 3 Annihilate instead of turn 2.
Yeah, but I mean, I still think that's our best option here.
Yeah, for each cooldown increase, reduce the cooldown of Annihilate by 1. I wonder if CG would have thought of that. By the word of the law, by the word of the game text, that shouldn't work.
What, draining the turret?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think it'll allow because you can't even target the turret.
I'm gonna write that tentatively in the cons for now.
No, I mean, no, you don't even have to write that. Like, the turret is not a 6 strain. You can't target it. It can't take damage.
I agree. Wait. Can't be targeted at all?
So sit down there.
Can't be targeted. Well, that means you can't aim at it. That doesn't necessarily mean that you can't hit it.
This object can't be
Is immune to damage and effects. Yeah.
Read the damn sentence.
Look, I'm trying to find holes here. I'm trying to find opportunities.
I know you are. But I still think, look, even with that, I still think that Annihilate's the best answer to this team. This team defensively is just tanky as fuck. I mean...
Alright, so here's what's going through my head right now. Is just, turn 2 Annihilate, we can make that work. The team surviving to turn 3 is going to be tough.
No, that's true.
Unless unless you get some Traya Malik coalition going or something, but like, I mean, this team does have Malik reductions, but like, that's not going to be an immediate. Where's that? Where's the max health reduction?
It's down in the Chosen One unique.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's not even the leadership. You can just toss him in wherever, and that's a Malik counter unit.
Yeah. That is a good point. The turret does dispel taunts, so that would be a pain in the ass to play hide Nihilus until he's ready to go.
I'm trying to think. So Scion would go after Rex. So Tenacity would get dispelled, Scion would land, pain. So the turret dispel doesn't actually matter against Scion, right? It's actually just a matter of the team getting rid of their own debuffs.
Yeah.
That's not how you spell cleanse. That's how you spell cleanse. Nothing here. Nothing here. So you have Rex. Is it seriously just Rex unique? That actually might be the biggest hole in this team. I mean, he has tenacity. I mean, he's got this self-cleanse. This team has very, like, that was part of what made Darth Revan so difficult, right? Is they were immune to Terminator regen, they were immune to stun.
I mean, I don't really see much of that on this team.
I don't at all. And
Okay,
Rex can't reduce himself either, so that's a pretty huge window I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Anakin's going to be annoying as hell with all the tenacity and everything he gets from everybody else. But
is that on the screen? Close enough. I almost... In a weird way, Rex coming fat, like, obviously giving the whole entire team turn meter lead is never a bad thing. But if you're playing on offense, maybe you end up trying to... No, it's offense. It's fine. Maybe you build Rex slow on defense, but that means his nuke comes out so much lower. This is bizarre. I mean, it seems like the team is really just relying on controlling who you can target, but like...
Well, the team's looks like relying on who you can target and then trying to control the other team as on top of that. It seems to be another aspect to all this. Because if you get commands on everybody, then that turret is constantly firing. And that turret is doing true damage and dispelling all buffs on everybody. Or on the people that it attacks. So...
Okay. I was kind of actually wondering for a second if ARC Trooper would actually, like, even though Ahsoka has so many issues with not really synergizing with this team, I was thinking that maybe her cleansing assists would actually end up being pretty important here. Honestly, at this point, seeing the lack of cleansing, I might not be writing Ahsoka off yet.
Well, yeah, because she brings some valuable aspects to the team.
If I'm understanding this right... Oh, until... Okay, damn. I'm not sure how much I like ARC Trooper at this point. I mean, the turret mechanic is cool.
I think the turret's going to be fucking strong, so...
It depends on the damage output, I think.
Well, it's doing... More than anything, I think the fact it's doing true damage is fine.
It just depends on how much true damage, though.
Fair, and it all depends on how you build and mod the ARC Trooper, because he gets stats off the ARC Trooper. So...
I was kind of hoping that this was going to be like a Hermit Yoda thing where you could just keep on stacking up command until the turret was assisting everybody, but no, it's only you're only ever getting it on 2 people. That's probably good from a balance perspective, but...
Yeah, but if you're calling ARC Trooper to assist...
Let's check Ahsoka.
When he assists, it attacks, and then if... I don't know, I think it'd work.
Actually, that's a good question. Does it assist... Let's see. Whenever this character uses an ability during their turn, that's the big key.
Yeah. So if you actually... Fuck, dude, if you put this on General Anakin...
It would have to be either General Anakin or 5s, I think.
Yeah.
5s has the turn meter gain, Anakin has the double turns.
Yeah.
Anakin has turn meter gain as well. I think it has to be General Anakin.
Yeah, you put the command on General Anakin, and it's just...
Can't be an Anakin, not a clone. Oh, good call, good call.
Oh, damn it.
It's gotta be 5s. I don't see how it can't be. Like, if it's purely based on action economy.
Now, side note of everything... Because I kind of want to visit that now because it's clones. How does ARC Trooper work with Cody?
Actually, that's a good call. I haven't checked for 501st.
Well, it's just clone troopers. So
There's no 501st text, yeah.
ARC Trooper could work really well with Cody.
What about, like, Shock Lead, Cody, Sergeant, this... So, actually, hang on. Ahsoka... Think about Sergeant.
Yeah,
50%... Yeah. Shakti, Sergeant, Cody. That's a ton of turn meter economy. Put the turret on Sergeant 100%. And maybe just start machine gunning?
Yeah, I think that is a deadly fucking team. But so who? So
I think Padme's flexible. I don't think not having Ahsoka is hugely detrimental to her. Like, Galactic Republic itself has a huge toolkit. If you bring Ahsoka on the team, though, Traya lead taxes her in a way that it doesn't tax the turret. So if we're worried about Traya's feasibility against this team, Ahsoka actually is technically a downgrade.
yeah, but I agree with Siri though. You kind of almost have to keep Ahsoka with General Anakin for the debuff removals.
That's how I feel right now. She can't die. What do you mean? I feel like the big money question right now is does Annihilate... Because technically Annihilate is just deleting the unit, right? It's not actually actively damaging them. Like, I don't think... Like, Imperial Probe Droid, I 100% don't think that Probe Droid counts. What's the text on 5s, though? Because we know that 5s eats Annihilate from somebody else. So 5s is actually pretty good precedent to look at.
On his Domino Squad?
Tactical awareness.
Tactical awareness.
Yeah, 5s has one they would be defeated. Anakin has they can't fall.
But he's when another 501st clone trooper ally.
Yeah, he can't save Anakin.
No. Or Ahsoka.
Let's look at yeah, good call. Let's look at L3's text. 5s has would be defeated, so it makes sense that he blocks Annihilate. I think you're right. I think that L3 or Revan Savior would have. First time each other droid ally is reduced to 1% health. And she doesn't block Annihilate, I'm pretty sure, right? I'm almost positive. That's a matchup you never really see, but... Actually, no. Traya was used against Revan. You can Annihilate Revan. That should be a pretty easy... Okay. At this point, I'm just going to assume that Annihilate works.
Is the get out of here button. That I don't want to see you anymore.
I don't think Traya should have zero chance of holding on defense against this, but I think it seems partially promising as an offensive counter. I don't...
Well, that's the question. Who do you put on defense against this fucking squad?
I don't think that you do. I think it's just... I think it's going to be a 56 banner team. Well, if the defensive team has AoE. If it's single target, then Anakin can take a lot of heat, then you lean on 5s. What about Geonosians? Oh, wait.
But no, there was a text in there. Hold on. I'm sorry, but Siri's got it right, though. Ahsoka brings so much value to this team because she can't be killed and you can't get rid of her as long as Anakin's there. So I think she's almost quintessential to the team. For keeping...
Oh, that's true. He's insurance against Traya lead. Yeah, that's a great point, actually. Kind of makes her basic heal a little bit pointless, but whatever.
I mean, it's nice when he goes down, she can keep herself healthy.
This is one of those situations where I hate seeing so much of her kit wasted, but at the same time, I think it's just what the team needs.
There was something in his either unique or his leadership about enemies attacking out of turn can't crit him or something.
Can't critically hit. Trey doesn't care about that. Luke definitely does.
Yeah, enemies attacking out of turn can't critically hit.
So Expose is still fair game from Rebels. Expose is still fair game. Han Nuke is still fair game. His first hit is still... Honestly, I wonder if my Expose spam idea might work here. No. It's too much baked into a single target. If you run Ezra, I mean, Kira kind of does the same thing, but if Ezra is guarded and calls Han to assist, that's 5 potential exposes in a single move.
That's okay.
I Luke, I'm giving a solid like maybe 30-40% chance right now. The only problem is just like Luke has to beat the team the way that CG wanted you to have to be able to beat the team. Traya might just be a sort of a cheat code.
All right, so let's go back to the rules. And so I'm formulating and thinking through people. So Anakin can't be defeated until everyone else is defeated. Everyone else can't lose health as long as he's taunting.
Right.
So everyone can lose protection.
You think Geos get wrecked?
I think so too. I mean, seriously though, like with all the assisting and out of turn attackings that Geo get, if there's no critting at all,
well,
I think it just makes their lives so much harder.
You lose the Geonosian soldier economy, but you still keep the spy nuke. So here's my biggest question.
Well, the spy nuke is only gonna.
The spy nuke is 6 digits damage. I think it's still fair game. So here's my biggest question. If you land spy nuke while he's still in advanced mode,
it gets rid of his shield and he goes into cover.
I don't know if it would do that. Like, it's a single damage proc, right? Like, if it was like Han shoots him,
he can't be defeated. He can't be killed until you kill everyone else on the team.
Right. Well, wait. Are we overthinking that with Nihilus then? Where's the defeat text?
Yeah, it literally just said right there.
No, it just says until all other Five First allies are dead. When they're dead, get bonuses. And then up here it says this is one bonus turn when they all die, right? Not one per. That'd be pretty. Yeah. Okay, yeah. He's not Grievous. Sit down. Oh, yeah, I'm not saying anything about he can't be defeated.
I read that somewhere. Give me a second.
Can't drop below 100% health. But that's in cover mode, right? Ah, fuck. It's up here. If it was in cover mode, I was thinking you might be able to just one-shot him while he's in advance with Spy Nuke.
No. So the Spy or... But see, Nihilus, I think, is different because it says instantly defeat somebody.
I think Nihilus is still fair game. Spy's off the table.
Spy would just instantly send him into cover, which would allow you to then beat up on everybody else.
But this team has so many tools that Geonosians would absolutely hate.
Absolutely.
AoE days, heavy AoE damage. That's...
Yeah. So I think this team is an excellent counter to Geonosians.
If you're using this team against Geonosians on defense, though, maybe
it's a waste. I know it's a waste.
I got you. Nest solo's off the table.
Yeah, and there's no way Nest takes care of this team.
Well, maybe Cure Nest, technically. Not Bataze, though. I mean, does he get potency anywhere? That's actually a really good question.
No, he doesn't. I don't see any potency anywhere.
No potency anywhere. So unless you mod, that's...
He's got tenacity out the fucking wall, though.
And by the way, the pros and cons list probably looks pretty stacked right now. I'm gonna leave out the obvious cons of like, holy shit, this dude is crazy strong. I'm trying to, like, this is more oriented of like, how can we beat him type deal.
Well, actually...
Oh, wait, no. It can't be resisted. I just remembered. So that's... Well, no. It wasn't about being resisted, though. It was that Kira Nest. If she resists days and she keeps on counterattacking and getting protection back, then this is not on the table for her.
Oh, Siri, that's a fucking fantastic question. If the ARC Trooper gets 5s as stats, does the turret then update itself in the middle of the match for all of the stats that it just gained from 5s? If that's the case, if that happens...
This is... Okay, so... I don't officially know this. Because the weird thing is, I'm pretty sure that when 5s dies, he's actually just updating their stat pool. That's the biggest... Like, if it's just technically...
Right.
And
the turret, the turret is based off the summer summer stats.
If you give Brute Alpha offense up, I'm pretty sure the spawn doesn't benefit. So I don't think there's a way to know until we can test it, because that kind of just comes down to how CG programmed it. If it's just modifying the stat table, assuming that it can be changed at runtime, because I'm pretty sure this might actually just run a check when the match starts, then yeah, I think it's actually fair game. I'm really curious on what this is going to be, because this could either be disappointing or sick. Like, this is, on paper, this is almost a better Droideka.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Byron on this one. I think the turret would have to be respawned or something for it to gain the new stats.
That's actually a pretty good call. Okay. Give command. Is there any way to actually lose the turret, though? It can't be targeted, can't immune to damage and effects, doesn't
So
take a
the
turn.
turret disappears when command is gone.
So when the person... Okay, no, that tracks. So if you put command on 5s, 5 dies. Well, but the ARC Trooper would still have command. Always has command.
Yes. So you have to kill the ARC Trooper and whoever else has command.
But there's no way to forcibly respawn him to try to update his stats.
Correct. No, actually, well, if you kill... Well, maybe. Okay, hold on, let's think about this. So ARC Trooper has command. If you put command on 5s, then when 5s dies to revive... No, he doesn't revive ARC Trooper. He just dies for him, doesn't he? Is that how it reads? Or does he, like...
Wait, why am I even talking about Nest? Rex exists. And it counters the mechanic. It's not going to stop Rex. That's a shame. That was like, I do like this. I really like conditional rules, and like this feels a lot better to me than just Jedi Knight Revan's leadership.
So it says would be defeated. So the other character doesn't actually die. So when they would be defeated,
Who are you looking at?
5. So in my head, I was wondering if you had command on both ARC Trooper and 5s, and ARC Trooper dies, and then 5 sacrifices himself to bring back ARC Trooper, that would respawn the turret. But that's not the case.
But 5, well,
that's what I was trying to figure out. So if you could set it up to where the ARC Trooper gets revived from 5s, and then he comes back onto the field, it will then respawn the turret. But
it's so close. I think the answer might still be no.
Me and Siri are on the same page, but I don't know if that works, because it just says if an ally would be defeated. So it doesn't sound like the...
Viron's right. It's not a revive technically. 5s just dies in their place. That, like, if it was like a zombie situation, absolutely 100% that's fair game. But I don't think it is.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I was trying to...
So close. It almost worked.
Yeah, I literally was trying to see if that would work.
Man, I will say, it feels like there's a lot of small attention to detail that you can see here. Like, I feel like this, at least to me, feels like CG tested it. Because there's a lot of, like, almost worked, but they added an extra effect to prevent it type situations. Like, if turret could be drained by Nihilus, I think this... I wouldn't say this team is bad on defense, but just... I don't understand, like... You could run...
5s does a save. ARC Trooper dies later, not saved, and gets revived to summon the turret.
That's true. Let's get back to Anakin.
Okay, fine.
Whoa, why did you get timed out? I might just disable Streamlab spot.
Yeah, get rid of that guy. Siri's doing great shit.
I'm not actually sure how to do that. Wait, all he said is this wouldn't work under GAS anyway. I don't even know what got you timed out.
Let me type that and see if that works.
Here, like, legit copy paste this into chat. So unless General Skywalker's basic ratios are just nuts, I don't see...
Back to JS. ARC Trooper we can talk about another day.
I just like unless his basic just has a huge ratio, like unless it's like a Jedi Knight Anakin basic, I don't really. His counters don't seem valuable. Like it ignores defense, so like maybe the damage is sick. I really like this. I mean, this is kind of like the opposite of U1, right? It's you get a new basic if it's your turn, or it's kind of like the opposite of Wat.
Yeah.
Hold on. This is the only source of armor short, right? Let's see. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. Think Sith Trooper plus Scion should buy a good amount of time. Good thing to remember too is Echo with the, I guess the Omega, says that when an ally crits, he always crits. So even with Trey Elite crit avoidance, his crits are still fair game.
Yeah.
When an enemy gains a buff. So Scion is technically ramping this.
Yep.
But with the turret being immune to effects mean that it's immune to the can't be revived thing? It's that's such small detail. Like,
well, that is very interesting that it says units can't be revived under Anakin.
I mean, it's the same with 5 sacrifice, right? I think that they just want like anytime.
No, okay, it makes a lot of sense actually. If you could revive people under Anakin, that just makes his team
From balance, sure, but also I like that's the thing in the cartoon, right? Is like people were sacrificing themselves or like taking big risks or whatever. I think it's just a thematic thing. Like anything that happens in a fight, I think they want it sticking, for better or worse. I mean, I like this is a little bit. I don't want to say it's lame, but it's just like, hey, Night Sisters, you're out of here. Or like Clashes, Scoundrel Team. Like maybe Zalbar buys you 1 Rex nuke. Well, would this apply to Brood Alpha's spawn? So this is okay. This is actually something I'd heard about recently. So I'm pretty sure I heard somewhere that someone said that if you annihilate Brood Alpha's spawn, that he supposedly can't be revived. Which you would think it's a token summoner. You would think it's just technically spawning a new unit, but apparently not. Because that's the thing, right? The past couple of weeks, I've actually seen, like, if you're fighting Rex clones or whatever, Geonosis Brood Alpha can buy you a lot of time against a Rex nuke. But
my question is though, if the Alpha can summon a Brood. Well, okay, so I don't actually have Geonosians. If I kill the Brood, can they?
Brood Alpha can make a new one.
Yeah. So is it
Normal.
coded as a new Brood later on?
I assumed that it was, but I don't remember the effect. I don't know if it was Annihilate or something, but Brute was permanently changed or couldn't be brought back.
Interesting.
I can test that later on.
Yeah, we'll have to.
What a world we live in. Yeah, what a weird thing this is. Wait, did my Photoshop move?
Yes.
Oh, shoot.
Fix your shit.
I'm working on it. I have no idea why it's doing this. There. Geonosians. Oh, okay. Brand new topic, but I think there's actually some promising stuff here. First Order. The Daze is a problem. And Rex should always have priority over First Order Officer. But there's a lot of stuff that First Order likes doing here that I think might actually work out.
I'm beating him?
It might need to be First Order what?
Ooh, wait. No, that doesn't matter. Never mind. Scratch that thought.
First Order Wat can deal with Rex. The AoE days is a huge problem for them, and they don't have good source of cleansing. I think it's legitimately just officer cleansing one other person.
Yeah. Wait, who has good team cleansing abilities?
Rex.
Besides
That's
Rex.
helpful.
L3.
I mean, Treya has natural cleanse, so we're kind of still back there.
L3 has really good team cleansing ability.
Where was the crit clause? Attacking out of turn. Okay, so it's not just assists. So Kylo Ren wouldn't lose advantage, which sucks.
Could we put L3 on a First Order team and be
L3 plus Wat?
Yeah, if you're doing L3 plus Wat, then that only leaves Executioner, Unmasked, and First Order Officer, and that kind of feels...
Well, I think that you want Wat putting the taunt piece on Kylo Ren Unmasked, because he's just there to eat the Rex nuke.
Right.
Technically, first Special Forces, First Order TIE Fighter pilot, he gives speed up, so the days doesn't impact speed up. But it means that Kylo Ren and normal Kylo Ren is a problem. Max health reduction of no protection. What's Relic Echo going to be like under this team? 50% critical damage. The mirror on this might be so messy. If you have slower Rex mods and Fives gets taunt up before Echo takes a turn, that's going to be a lot of incoming damage. Sure. First Order also generates a ton of buffs, so I'm not liking how this works. Because, I don't know. Kylo Ren basically wants as little incoming damage as possible. There's no Shakti on the team, so there's no counterattacks coming in, but that's still just a stronger Echo. I don't know if that's a good thing. Link to the kit. Here is this. Here is this. I don't know. How do you feel about Arch Trooper right now? He kind of feels like a range trooper, like he's a nice simple kit. I need to see numbers to...
He's a simple kit, but I see him working better in other squads than General Anakin's squad. General Anakin, I agree. I think you have to have Ahsoka with him at all times to make him unkillable. She just provides way too much to the team, and then of course you need Rex, Fives, and Echo.
Oh wait.
Now I want to know if they're going to rework her Daring Padawan unique though, because right now it just says if.
I don't think they are at all.
So she's not going to get crit immunity for 2 turns?
Nope. Welcome.
When it's the same fucking person?
Reader special. That's why, like, that's why I was saying she really needed a rework if she was going to shine on the team, but, like, you just have Rex, otherwise it's cleanse. Like, I feel like she needs to be there. Well, let's see. Talent which can't be dispelled. Dispels all debuffs on himself. You selfish little boy. I don't know. A First Order officer, even with a 30 speed from Kylo Ren lead, I'm pretty sure he can't outspeed. Like, this team can be...
I agree with you. The next event is going to be a better Ahsoka. God. And you're going to need Ahsoka. You're going to need Fulcrum. You're going to need Ahsoka Tano. You're going to need General Anakin. You're going to need General Kenobi. You're going to need all kinds of bullshit.
there's a lot of teams that have like a partially good counter. It's just a matter of trying to figure out. Like, if Geonosians can buy enough time, and assuming that the Geonosian Brute can respawn, still don't think I hate it.
I still don't like Geonosians against them.
It would be a really extended match.
It would, absolutely. Like, and granted, Spy, 100%. So, but here's the question, though. Do you use Spy to put Anakin into cover right away, or do you save Spy's nuke to kill someone instantly once you put Anakin into cover?
Spy has a self-cooldown toggle, so I think you would have to immediately blow it. Geonosians have 2 cleanses. Although, if you were going to use... Well, I don't know what Wat really adds here. What about Grievous? I don't think Grievous is coming out with 5 people alive, but maybe?
Yeah, there's...
When enemy game's a buff, there's not too much out on the team.
Chat disconnected. Please wait while we try to reconnect you.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Is that me or you?
I'm not sure.
Siri, are you there? Talk to me.
Chat, someone message in the Discord if the stream is still up.
Unable to connect to chat. Let's try again later. I mean, your stream's still up. I'm watching you move around and do shit.
Okay. That's weird.
Like, move your mouse and type. Yeah. Just you scrolling right now.
Alright, where were we? Grievous.
Yeah, Grievous. So I'm thinking...
Team doesn't have potency bonuses, so unless he has really high base potency values...
Oh, okay, so...
You have tenacity, not potency.
What's the rule on B1 Battle Droid and reviving? Is that considered a revive, or is it
nope.
just okay.
Once he runs out of stacks, then he can't be revived anyway, so there's no difference. It's back? It's not back for me. Let me refresh. Restore chat. Anyway. Echo has the AoE grenade for droid stun, but it can be resisted, and B1 gives tenacity. I think this would really just have to be a slugfest of Grievous AoE trying to race through all of the damage in time. Oh, chat's back. There we go. Cool. I guess YouTube's just having issues. Yep, you're good, Syria. Like, that's kind of the thing, right? Grievous at least has enough repeating AoE that they might just be able to kind of chip through this at the... Man, if 5s is tanky, though, then you're just basically brute forcing 5s to sacrifice. And I don't know if that's a good thing. That's probably bad.
Yeah.
All-time GG AoE. Yeah. Like, Anakin, I think, doesn't function here just because he has a really long window before he gets another one-shot again, but... I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't write that off. Maybe Anakin, Anakin... I mean, Shakti gives him stealth, and Echo is probably starting off with the Dispel. I don't know, the timing of that would be super close, though. You would need, like, 1 or 2 bonus turns to get ahead of Echo's turn 3 grenade.
True.
This has me pretty worried. That's 50% critical damage. Echo doing 100% damage. Stacking offense. B1 counters this. I think it's gonna be a brawl. Like, I don't think I can predict the matchup. Like, It's going to be
I
messy.
I don't think there's anybody out right now that can cleanly beat this team.
If we're talking clean like 60 banners, yeah, no way. Treya, I think if you... Assuming Annihilate works the way we think, Treya can... I think they might be able to stall Rex long enough to stop him from nuking. That's a big maybe. Like, you would need to have Isolate or Fracture ready to go the moment that Rex was vulnerable.
I mean, I still think Geos would be an interesting fight. So if you can nuke down Anakin's protection instantly, then it's like you basically can then just start working on, you know, then it becomes a fair fight. And if you're constantly just having Spy nuke the
I think like
Anakin's shield, you're constantly just trying to keep him in that low spot. I think the bigger issue with all this is even after you kill everybody, Anakin becomes annoying as shit to fight.
I think that there's like 2 or 3 roadblocks in their way, and if there was like one less, I think I would be okay. The fact that Geonosian Spy can't crit on assist means that you get way less turns, which means you get way less Spy assists, which means that the nuke doesn't get hit nearly as hard. The Daze is also a roadblock. They have 2 team-wide cleanses, so like they can take that, but again, it's just like if everything went perfectly for them, I think that they have a decent shot at it, but just there's a lot that can hamper them. Let's see.
All right, I'm going to the gym though. Y'all have fun.
All right.
Later, chat.
Peace out. All right. Remember how many turns the clones take? What's the actual at the end of every turn? Interesting. Honestly, though, this just makes me think Treya even more. Right? Like, if Treya works the way that we want, you bypass this. Like, this just no longer exists. This does. Nihilus will stall out Rex nuke. Scion, his taunt can't effectively be dispelled, so unless the team flexes in Ahsoka, Pain should do its job. I guess that's a big thing, is getting Pain on General Skywalker may not happen, though. Kind of the same as missing Pain on Brood Alpha happens sometimes. What's the actual conditions on the self-remove? When he takes cover. So he drops down to here. Like, do you fracture or isolate him, or do you just save it and just try to... Like, I'm thinking, actually, if you set Thrawn to 1 speed less than Nihilus, and just try to just brute force Nihilus through... I think you have to use Isolate, right, to reduce Nihilus anyway? So just try to keep him in advance. I don't know if Isolate really matters that much anyway. Is this a bonus turn? Takes a bonus turn here, but this is just use another ability. I mean, let's think about it, right? Rex has extra speed, 5 gets extra turn meter from the Zeta, but like... I'm not sure that this is really... I don't think clones really accelerate this too much. Not as bad as it could be anyway. Right, like this, I don't think this actually counts as 2 turns. Actually, I'm not sure I understand... Use 2 abilities per turn. They're saying that you can't actually choose them. It's based on the first one. Where do we... Like, what's the rule set on this? choose the first ability he uses, then trigger a second that is linked to the first if able? It's not RNG, right? There's no way. So using one special might just favor the other special. Cooldown 3. So it wouldn't automatically cycle. It's actually so good that Rex doesn't lower his cooldowns. Good lord. That would be a train wreck. I mean, he has cooldown acceleration for himself, but it's not like every single turn. So if I'm understanding this right, he will automatically use his other special unless your ability blocked or unless both are on cooldown? That's a little bit lame to me. I would have preferred... Now his basic, like, I can't really think of any situations where you would rather use your basic, unless you just wanted to preserve the cooldown. Actually, one other thing this might mean is that this team is not going to be able to slow burn at all. Also, if you use basic, I'm not sure how... Like, will it just always go to special 1? Man, there's so many, like... I don't really have many big questions. Like, I feel like there's a lot of text in this kit, but it actually seems fairly straightforward, but just... This is weird to me. Basic telekinesis? I thought telekinesis was... First ability... Oh, good call. So this can dip to this, but this always dips to this. That's fair. Okay, so you basic, then cast. I kind of like the idea of whichever you use first one form. I do like this aspect of player choice. Oh, reset the cooldown, not lower it. Okay. So he's just constantly going to be going back and forth unless you ability block him. Mirror matches are going to suck. That was my first reaction, but... Like, so on paper, the person with the best rec speed should win, right? But I think in the mirror, just the way to defeat General Skywalker is going to be so complicated. I'm not actually sure if the AI will actually will be able to handle it correctly. AoE days. This is AoE days, right? Oh, yeah, to all enemies. Yeah. So Ahsoka could potentially get shut down. But also, wait, If your 501st goes first, there's going to be a lot of coin flips in this matchup, actually. Good lord. Alright, think about this. So, can I just pause this? Okay, imagine their team goes first, they all get tenacity up, your team goes. They're going to have days on you, most likely, if I'm interpreting this correctly. I'm actually really curious the order the AI is going to do this. Alright, your rec should be going first. There's no Terminator direction I can think of off the top of my head. I feel like the team that goes second might actually have an advantage, but there's also a lot of RNG involved. Like, if... Actually, no, that plays. Anakin should only get 30% Terminator from Rex. So it might just be a situation you set Anakin to 30% -1 speed under Rex. Because that's the thing, right? We want Echo... Like, in the mirror, you want Echo to go before Anakin. Echo, Dispel, Anakin, AoE days. Now you have control. And that's the other thing, too. If you're the team going second... Actually, yeah, how is going first good for you? Unless it's just, like, you have enough damage to force him into cover. I mean, if you go first, then you're technically killing a character temporarily. What can't be? That's what I'm thinking. What the heck is it even gonna turn into then? Nah, the modding would have to evolve to some other direction. Like, it can't just be a race to the bottom of Rex speed. Right? And there's no foresight anywhere on these kits, right? Nope. Anyway, all these details aside, I'm pretty sure that the AI just won't really be able to. Like, worst case scenario, if you go second, with all the damage flying around, I would say there's a pretty good chance that you just get kicked straight out of advance. That... I'm gonna put that in the con section. Oh, these are a ton of cons. I mean, overall, just looking at everything for positives, lots of damage output, revive block. On paper, this is seriously going to shut down a lot of... I would almost say it. I seriously can't think of any team that can hold against us on defense. Territory War... I don't know if we're just going to have a whole Darth Revan up front situation again. But I feel like there's... I don't know. I think it depends on Traya. If Traya isn't as strong against this team as it sounds on paper, then we probably see this on defense. Let's flesh out the pros. This is a bit biased right now. I don't... That's a good question. Basically, he's asking if pure 5.0 first seems required. I'm not convinced. At least things aren't like, you know, you think of like Padme team, GK Zeta, Ahsoka Zeta. Like, Galactic Republic up until now had a lot of functionality just pretty much hard written into their kit of like, it must be factional. Like, you get some pretty nice stuff here. I would say flexible on offense, 5.0 first only on defense. That's... I think that that's a pretty safe statement right now. On offense, ideally, unless it's just like some new... Like, imagine Episode 9 hits, some new crazy hard team. You need this functionality just to get the win. Then, obviously, yeah, go pure 5.0 first, but... Unless it just happens to be a matchup where you need this functionality to stop the AI from beating you, I feel like 5.0 first in general just has a strong enough toolkit that, like, I would say, I think Shakti can still potentially work here. Maybe even Shakti lead. You're trading 50% crit damage for 50% offense. You lose the offense stacking, but not every team is going to give you a ton of buff economy that you use them against. I don't know. I like looking at everything on offense. I really think that there's a ton of flexibility here. Like the idea, God, I kind of forgot about it already, but I'm actually super excited about this. This, where is it? Yeah, this with Clone Sergeant. If the true damage is strong, this could actually be so much fun. Like, just I don't even care what the matchups results are. Clone Sergeant gets such a good action economy, especially on a Shakti team. That straight up, that's just a machine gun. Do we know how Arc Trooper is releasing? Coming to the game in a future update. He's probably He's probably the Brute Alpha, I'm guessing. Like, you could go Shakti, Cody, Sergeant, Arc Trooper, and then put Ahsoka in 501st. I would say that that's probably my biggest con right now, is neither of the 5th slot 501st feel like a huge slam dunk to me. If the turret damage turns out to be oppressive, then I think I feel better about that. But if you run Arc Trooper in 5th, especially on defense, then your team has pretty much no cleanse control past Anakin's self-cleanse after Rex uses a special. And that's pretty scary to me. I mean, for the pros section, I don't know how to write this, but I would say just like... That feels a bit too generic, but honestly, right, like, AoE days, revive block. Armor shred, maybe read into it. The lack of protection regen is a pretty big minus to me for Grand Arena. Actually, wait. I was saying 56 banners. You only recover protection if he gets disabled. So that might even be 55, unless you just try to get him to suicide first. But you would have to... that's... Whether or not to Zeta Shakti unique or push her to G12 for the event. So, if we assume that 501st becomes core, well, we have Arc Trooper now. What I would have told you, like, yesterday is, if we assume General Skywalker and the 501st clones become core, then Shakti only has Clone Sergeant and Cody to play with, which isn't really a full fleshed out team. I assume and hope that we're going to get some more clones from Lightside Territory Battle, but as of yesterday, I'm not sure that Shakti, Lead, or Zeta are really worth touching. Lead especially, but I don't... For me personally, I feel actually pretty decent about the idea of building Ahsoka 501st Shakti clones. Because Shakti Lead gives you protection regen, right? So that's actually a fairly sustainable team on offense to try to get 60 banners or whatever. Maybe this could even be an undersized team, depending on this turret performance. Although, wait. So one thing I actually read today is if you're trying to do an undersized team and you run a 4-man Geonosian team, the Brute actually apparently, for the feat anyway, doesn't count as an undersized team. Now, banner-wise, I'm actually not even sure how Geonosians score on offense. I don't know if Brute counts... Does he count as a 5th or 6th unit for banners? If he dies, does it penalize you? I don't think death would penalize you, but... Let's see. Because that's the other thing, too. Ahsoka on Padme team... I mean, how would Padme do without the Dispel? In some respects, having Ahsoka critically assist was actually a bad thing. So, that's not terrible. I mean, if you put Anakin back on Padme, then you get an assist back. So the biggest thing for Shakti clones that I'm thinking right now is Cody calls, I believe it's always +1 on the mass assist. So the idea of only having 3 clones on the team, if we wanted to make sure that Shakti always... Well, I don't know if... call all clone allies and one random ally. I'm not actually sure if that means that she's a consistent call. Actually, I would assume not. It's just RNG. Maybe Shakti. Yeah, maybe you just substitute out 5-0 first and you keep Shakti with Jedi Anakin. I think right now Traya is probably the best. I'm trying to think. Grievous I would give second best bet, but actually I kind of just want to... What factions are we forgetting about? First Order Wat is a maybe, but this is the brand new thing. Everyone should be dumping relic levels onto that. I don't think Waton's gonna survive a high relic echo just going to town. What about GG Bomb? No. Anti-burst. Well, but GG Bomb could have multiple waves. Maybe. Nah, but the droid's done. There's no way. You're not even gonna have B1. Yeah, that's not on the table. I would say odds are pretty high that Wat gear on general. Oh, actually, yeah. Let's think about that. I've always been a little bit of a fan of the Wat taunt piece on 5s, just because he's so durable. How much defensive ignore does he have? Is that aspect wasted? Actually, so ignores defense, can't be revived. So that the damage piece on Wat is a little bit redundant. This back and forth really makes me like the idea of him getting extra turn meter from Wat, and I don't think the team has any turn meter gains aside from Rex. I mean, he has it once these people die and when he's disabled, but yeah, I really don't hate that idea. He is an attacker, right? Yeah. Regen piece could go, I don't know. Whoa. No, I think you go regen piece on Anakin. This is 10 turns until he's back up. The piece adds 15, so that's 7 turns instead? That's not a huge buff, but it's not awful. Let's see. Oh man, that... So let's see. I think that this would be super effective against the AI, but you lose, like, this... This technically just obeys the law of the Wat gear piece anyway. You would just drop the taunt and they would just have to kill Anakin anyway, but maybe it would buy you some time. I actually kind of like this idea. You gonna get a juggling taunt effect, but the juggling taunt window is a little bit big. Would he get turn meter when he was disabled though? Oh wait. I don't know why I ever looked at it. I figured it was just whenever he got 100% protection. Well, speed set to 0. Alright, we need to take a look at Zombie, because I think this is going to be the same situation as Zombie stacks. If Zombie hits 2 stacks, I think it hits 0, and I think it isn't allowed to go. So maybe you could, like, because Zombie, you can get Zombie up to 100% turn meter, but you'll still never take a turn. So let's actually see. You lose 50% speed. Yeah, it doesn't actually say anything about her being unable to take turns. She just has minus 100% speed. So I might actually assume that on paper you're 100% correct. If you can just get to 100% turn meter and he's hunky dory, then yeah, that's so much better value. That's 4 versus 7. But it might have to be the regen piece. Also, this means he can't be buffed, right? Because Wat could use his special. That's protection regen. Well, but he can't take turns, so that wouldn't matter. I definitely think that there's something to the idea. Is it remove it? Yeah. Buffs and debuffs are both considered status effects. Okay, I don't think that you can play with these rules at all then. 100% you're right. Yo, I'm doing a stream right now. So if you want to talk about Galaxy Heroes, feel free. We can do some Apex in a bit if you want. Damn, I was actually so excited for that. I should probably leave. Oh, that would have been so sick. There's, like, that would be the holy grail. If we can figure out some way to get him to cycle back and forth more quickly, this team becomes a lot trickier to beat. I feel like CG did their homework. This is an interesting excerpt, though. I guess you would have to. See, I don't think you get all your protection back. I'm pretty sure you just take a turn. Well, let's think. I don't know if I hate Wat being on the team anyway. If you just give the turn meter piece to Rex, that's still putting the enemy on a faster timer, right? Rex has good speed, 50% turn meter gain per turn. I still don't think that's awful. Regen piece kind of becomes dead weight. Like, your only option would be Rex, I guess. Yeah. there's a whole lot of stuff of like, this could be so sick, and you can't. Like, as lame as it is to think about, this is actually, I'm pretty sure this is a good thing. This needs to be here. How long have we been streaming for? I actually don't even know. Huh. So that's the biggest thing, I guess, is if we're gonna look at protection regen and maintain, like, I think instead of getting through cover faster, I think it's all gonna have to be about trying to maintain advance. I'm pretty sure Wat only gives his max HP to Separatists, though, which is a missed opportunity. That actually would have been nuts. Double check. Separatist or Dark Side droid allies, so nothing to see here. I do like the synergy. 5's getting 50% turn meter per ally hit with the Wat piece. I think that that's really good synergy. That's going to be a good protection regen economy. Yeah, this gear piece, it wouldn't be terrible. Definitely. Just so close to being so broken. For better or worse. Probably worse. Yeah, honestly, the biggest sell for me, and this is a pretty good sell, I think, is the turn meter piece on Rex. That's so much extra pressure. Like, easily, that sounds like good value to me. And even though the regen piece isn't that crazy, the Wat special gives protection regen. So this could potentially, anytime Anakin takes a turn with advance up, that's still gonna keep advance going for longer. A couple of close missed opportunities, but I think it's still a strong option. Let's put that in pros. I guess the biggest thing is going to be trying to get... Well, Rex has... So... God, we spent so much time trying to figure out Wat Tambor AI. It seems like it favors people with the lowest offense. So that actually might mean that the AI... If the AI puts the TM piece on Rex consistently, then this becomes a lot trickier to beat on defense, I think. Yep, Wat Basic. AI, Wat Basic, I didn't even know if the AI would ever use it, because anytime that you cycle advance off, then Wat should get the gear piece back, which means that the next piece would just be placing it again. So like that's actually pretty exploitable from the AI. But on offense, it definitely is a good thing. The crit avoidance is Separatist 2 only, I think, right? Yeah, it's all Separatist Darkside droids. Yeah. Even with all of the missed opportunities, I still think Wat feels great here. And what about... I don't think Anakin really gains anything, right? Jedi Anakin? No damage tidbits for him. What about R2 on this team? Nah. This would make the stealth pointless, and this is already stealthing him anyway. Nobody can be revived, so that's off the table. Honestly, the biggest thing I would want to see on this team is like a turn meter engine. Somebody who can just get Rex going faster. Wat gets that effect. I mean, Thrawn, maybe. That doesn't feel like a strong sell that I can think of. Like, you have Rex to give you a boost, but that's once every 4 turns. Let's start by Galactic Republic. Plo Koon gives turn meter, but that's... I'm pretty sure this is the same cooldown as Rux. Yeah, so it's just a second Rex, that's kind of pointless. What about General Kenobi? 5's only taunts when Kenobi isn't taunting, but this is valid. He has Galactic Republic, right? Yes. Kenobi, maybe. We haven't even talked about Kenobi yet. I think. You get a cleanse, which we just talked about. That's not having that's a pretty big deal. Didn't Kenobi have some baked-in thing for Anakin and Ahsoka? Oh, that's on his leadership. Okay. There isn't really any protection up going around though, so that's completely... Yeah, this state is dead. I don't know. Feels like a value loss for running on Padme. I don't think the value it adds is enough. Like, you're actually kind of killing 5's. You're killing 5's ability to taunt, but I'm actually not sure if that's a bad thing. Is it a bad thing? If they're gonna kill Rex, like, to me, I still think that the main win condition for the team is Rex getting his nuke off. This basically adds a triple taunt, bouncing taunt dynamic. I don't think that seems that terrible, actually. What about anybody with Frenzy? I mean, it's just boss get this in. I don't think that's gonna happen. Anybody, man, if we could just figure out a way to get him to cycle through his cover more quickly, that would be so useful. I mean, Jedi Anakin with his bonus turns, but that requires people falling below 50% health, which does not function with his lead. I guess technically speaking, if we're going Anakin lead, it doesn't really have to stay Galactic Republic. I don't think this really adds anything to the team. Maybe, like, if you get Rex to 3 translation stacks without it getting dispelled at all. That's such a huge stretch, though. No. I'm not even thinking about that. Barris? Clunts? The health regen is completely irrelevant for advanced, though. She gets extra turn meter, which could help accelerate this. I don't hate that. I'm gonna put a maybe on Barris. Cody, I don't see working on the team. Shakti, I maybe do. Like, if... I don't think Shakti's, God, there's so many switches back and forth. Retribution, I don't think has any damage penalties, right? So it's entirely possible that just having her there to give the unique Zeta might just be crazy good value just for Echo pumping out damage. That doesn't sound bad on paper. God, the biggest thing Galactic Republic, I'm really hoping that Caddy Mundi fixes this, is Galactic Republic really just lacks protection regen. Like, you got protection up, but just if we're talking about getting banners back in GAC, that's... Like, this team, unless you only run it on offense against, like, a single target team, like, I don't really see how you get out of this with good banners. Like, this team is super deadly. I don't think anyone can argue that, but just... In that respect, unless you just want a... Like, this... Honestly, for me, this might actually be a good offensive tool. Just, like, we'll take one bad matchup. Like, maybe... How would this team do against Star Trek? We actually even haven't run that hypothetical. Thorn to keep advance up right at the beginning. Yeah, he's got protection regen, he's got a cleanse. Extra fracture control tool. Doesn't sound that bad. I don't think Thrawn is like a slam dunk. Like some of the other ideas you guys and we've had feel way more immediately appealing to me. But... Oh, for sure. Any idea is welcome. Clone Sergeant with Rex. You get the 50% turn meter removal. It's like a pseudo nest effect. I don't hate that. But he just doesn't... The team isn't... Like, you can call him with 5s. Is it seriously just 5s? I think it is. I don't know. This could maybe be a cute idea, just to... Rex gives everyone a turn, then you immediately reduce them again, maybe outpace them. Probably not. Protection up. Wouldn't really... Can't be revived, that's wastes. I mean, this and this could maybe keep advance up, but it's a complete waste of Jolie. It's trash. Does Grandmaster Yoda bring anything? This is satisfied. I don't know if this would work if he's... No, it should still. If Anakin is in cover. It gives you double tenacity, which isn't bad. It's not a cleanse. This would only speed him up. Protection regen. Don't worry about that. I don't hate the idea of Hermidioda. Feels a little bit dubious to me, but... What are two actually? Ooh, wait. I blew him off thinking about Smokescreen, but honestly, if you just number crunch, because it's 10% offense for each Galactic Republic ally. %50 crit damage, stacking offense. Echo, like this might just be Echo damage bomb situation. Biggest issue again would just be turn order RNG though. You can't control 5s going before or after Echo, which sucks. That's maybe worth thinking about. I'll write that down. Oh, shoot. And when you really start to look at it, this game really doesn't have much protection economy unless it's just a faction thing. What if we get weird? This will be horrible value. This kills 5's taunt. Most likely. For the 35% surmit again. That's only when everyone's dead though, right? And I don't really like... obviously, GG Bomb team is successful at what it wants to do, but I don't really like planning teams around the idea of them dying. At least not for offense. That's the thing. A lot of this stuff is very offense driven right now. I think for defense, I don't see it being anything other than 5-0 first. If you just want to do as much damage as possible, Ahsoka feels safer if you're trying to combat control. Or you could go Arc Trooper just for sheer damage output and try to cost them as much as possible. I'm really, like, Traya is going to be a day one test for me. Traya, right now Traya screams probable solution to me, but if you get like a Relic 7 Echo in there, if you're Gear 12 against Relic 7 Echo, I don't know how you survive right now. At least not for 3 turns. Actually, it's worth thinking about Sith Marauder, though. EP lead with Triumvirate. That, to me, feels even scarier, honestly. Actually, here's one... Let me double-check Echo real quick, but I'm pretty sure... I just thought of something that actually is really, really important against Traya. Yeah. If Ahsoka's on this team... So Ahsoka's got super high crit chance. Just base plus or unique. So Ahsoka assisting is pretty much going to guarantee that Echo always crits. Which feels pretty huge to me. Because this should mean on paper that you can just completely ignore the stat on Echo. Plus, I think... Yeah, 5-0 first has 20% crit chance. I'm pretty sure Ahsoka might actually just be near 100%. 57... 20%, 40%. Yeah, she's starting at 100%. So Traya lead puts her at about 60, but you're probably gonna want some secondaries if that's an interaction you care about, but it's still good to know. Honestly, it's just weird, like, how how do you even build Ahsoka here? Do you just tenacity stack her? Like, her damage is gonna suck, most likely. I mean, she'll get crit damage, she'll get stacking offense, but you're going from 3 hits to 1 hit. This damage has never been great. It's possible that, like, a high relic Ahsoka, she might get okay with a General Skywalker lead. It doesn't have a penalty, which is good. But yeah, 100%. If you're putting on defense, the toolkit approach is for offense. Like, defense, unless it's just like... If it's maybe like you flex a character in to try to block Traya or something like that, assuming that that's the running assumption. Have you even written down Traya? No, we have not. It's actually entirely possible that Palpatine is just going to outlap this team, though. You might be right. But this team isn't getting too many debuffs. Unless you put Basilisk Shawn Fallen in. That might just be the biggest story out of this. Or that might just be the general approach. Team has to have an AoE Dispel, get rid of Rex's Tenacity, and then from there, there's no... Like, you have to target Anakin, or Anakin has the unpreventable taunt. But any AoE CC, Palpatine, Basilisk Shawn, it should be fair game. You would have to run Scion before... You would either have to run Scion before Basilisk Shawn Fallen, or you're going to have to Thrawn swap. Run a fast Thrawn, swap to Scion, and then go from there. But I don't know if I like that. It feels a bit messy. Is this the first taunt that can't be prevented? I'm pretty sure. Like, Bosk just tries to retaunt. Yeah. Yep. So that actually might be interesting. I'm curious to see. Like, Traya doesn't care about it because Treya's just going for Anakin anyway, and if anything, this taunt would help potentially increase Nihilus, but I don't see why. Nihilus shouldn't have to take a 4-turn, unless he just RNGs a void on somebody, which is actually pretty true. Actually, does anybody know? We're gonna check right now. Does Nihilus get accuracy from his relic? Because that would actually be extremely nice. He does. That's not bad. So maybe get him to Relic 1 or 2 for consistency. Have you talked about Arc Trooper? So here's how we're looking at it. My biggest judgment on Arc Trooper is going to come down to the numbers on this true damage right here. But the biggest reason why I have a potential concern with Arc Trooper is because this team has extremely little debuff control, right? You have Rex with the opening Tenacity, Cleanse, Turn Meter Gain, but that's a 4-turn cooldown. Rex doesn't lower himself. He has bonus speed with 5.0 first. Actually, that's going to be... Wait a minute, I thought about that. So Rex should be plus 20% speed now, right? So he'll actually be... Man, that actually makes me like Wat with him even more. 4% for each 5.0 first ally. Anyway, so... The synergy with this team on Arc Trooper doesn't blow me away, and it doesn't really solve a problem with the team, which is cleansing. So even though most of Ahsoka's kit is wasted here, and I actually really don't like her being on the team, it's still potentially a problem. I'm trying to think. Also, that's the other thing too. As I think Shakti lead with Cody and Sergeant, we were talking about earlier, this is going to be so sick when you put it on Sergeant. Like, seriously, all the free turn meter, all of the assist that he gets to take extra turns, assuming that this turret does anywhere near remotely good damage, there should be just awesome value here. It actually has me seriously considering upgrading Cody. Let's see. Increasing CD on crits. I don't think I'm too worried about that. Like, the team can run Sith Trooper. And again, if the team isn't running Ahsoka, Scion should be able to stall plenty of time. I don't think Sion's gonna live unless you relic him, but... Right, because is there a taunt ignore here? Yeah, there's no... Ignore defense, ignore defense. Yeah, you can buy Nihilus plenty of time. Give him a crit avoidance arrow. Trade League gives 40%. Maybe we'd have to see General Skywalker's stats. Cody would give him 20%. This is weird. Why would they do this? I guess unless he gets, like, isolated plus drained? Or double fear, maybe? That's a really weird excerpt. So this actually helps his chances a lot. This actually might be a, like, if you're trying to block Traya, that might be a pretty good reason. But actually, then again, like, after the first turn, you could just open up with Isolate and Fracture on it if you really, if that was the route you wanted to go. And there's no even, you would have to Isolate anyway just to get the Nihilus reduction, but Fracture should, like, would stop him. You would just have to avoid doing damage enough to get him down into cover. Right. I'm pretty sure that's just going to be the approach. Disable him, but avoid getting him out of advance. And just stall until you get to Annihilate. The Sith team doesn't do that much damage either. Plus, this... On some level, this is actually really, really helpful for the Sith, I would say. It just buys you more time. I don't know. I think that you make a good point with this, but just I don't see it being problematic. I think that the player can deal with it. Worst case scenario. Actually, I haven't even thought about this. So let's say you just completely disregard speed, or disregard damage and just build for speed. You could theoretically just infinitely lock their cooldowns, assuming that he just keeps wobbling back from here to here. Like, cast this, reset this, cast this, reset this. That's a bit wild. Give Rex your best set, give Anakin your second set? What? How do you play against that? Unless you just have total critical hit immunity. Maybe Padme might be positioned best to deal with this. It would be kind of lame to have another meta where the two best units just take your top two speed sets. It's a little bit boring, like a bit top heavy, but... 70% critical chance, so even like a Grievous team, that's... Oh, during his turn. I was, like... That just broke my brain for a minute. I had to work through that. The idea of, like, increasing cooldown every single time he countered too. Yeah. So we were talking about that. So if you look at... So 5's blocks Annihilate, right? Annihilate doesn't do damage, it just deletes a unit. 5s says when a unit would be defeated, he's defeated instead. But, like, Revan Savior or General Anakin's kid here says cannot be reduced below 100% health. So we're operating under the assumption right now that Annihilate should be fair game. It's entirely possible that it won't be, but just we kind of have to operate assuming that the text is consistent. I'm actually really curious how good his lifesteal is going to be. If he has good lifesteal, this could be harder to deal with than Malak, potentially. Well, harder to deal with, but then again, no tenacity mechanics. Malak ramps tenacity, he doesn't. Honestly, what about JTR? JTR is like one of the only teams that can outspeed a Rex. She doesn't really have anything good to deal with the initial situation, though. JTR plus T3 could kind of buy some time. The JTR is just called Wooden Crit, so that's a wasted opportunity, but I still think this doesn't sound terrible on paper yet. Given all the mechanics that we know that he blocks. My biggest concern with JTR, honestly, is just that the team has made a paper, and Echo would ruin their day if you didn't have Foresight up and ready. No AoE Dispel unless you flex in something like IPD or T3, so T3 sounds increasingly necessary. But if T3 goes first, then can't use it anyway. Huh. Hold on. Oh no, he self-cleanses everything. Man, yeah, every single time I get an idea, it's just like, no, he clears it. I was wondering what happened if you heal blocked him. I can't really think of any mechanics that would, like, stop Resistance Trooper from just going to town. Honestly, right now, this is probably the scariest thing to me. I think if you mod around this, and you have really good speed mods, that's a little bit scary. I was just thinking about him for damage builds. Maybe a counter just turns out to be like 555 first clones with Traya and Nihilus or something stupid. Nah, but you won't beat Rex with 20% speed. Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not actually sure how you deal with that. I was thinking it would just be one burst at the start and then you just kind of reset back to normal speeds. If Traya goes before Nihilus, that actually isn't that problematic, though. It just means that, maybe... It's entirely possible that Annihilate actually gets kicked to turn 4. If the turn order goes Traya, Nihilus, Thrawn, then I think you still maintain turn 3. No, but Traya can't use... there's so many... Anakin's a physical attacker, so Relics boosts his critical chance too. How do you stop this? Aside from, like, Padme. Also, yeah, wouldn't this be a really good argument for Wat to be on the team too? Because Wat would just make him theoretically maintain this chokehold even more. I might have changed my mind. This might have to be a Padme showdown. Who else has unconditional crit immunity? I mean, dispellable is fine too, I think. Like, Kenobi should be fine. That actually changes what we were thinking too, because if you're second in the mirror... Damn, I completely missed that line. Can't be resisted, tenacity is a fair game. Folks, I'm not sure what to say. I don't know how you deal with that. If you just have good crit chance and speed, and you give Wat this cooldown piece, like, what do you do? Or if you have Wat give him the Terminator piece. Like, it's not even technically a loop. How many Gear 13 characters needed to beat event? I don't think anybody needs Gear 13, at least to enter. Everything else we've talked about so far felt really, really well tuned and planned, but this has me concerned. If this was just this reduces the cooldown by 1, then this would be different. Maybe we're back to CLS lead then. Maybe stunning Rex is just an absolute requirement. Or shoot him, he's got tenacity. Get CLS. Some Terminator ideally. This is so difficult. I don't think you can just out-mod or... Like, Grievous is one of the best teams in terms of critical immunity right now, and, like, even if you had Wat use basic and B1 and crit avoidance arrows, I don't think you can get around that. This is wild. I don't know. Honestly, I feel like everything that's been said at this point, I can't even think of anything. I don't know how you deal with that. You have to get ahead of Rex. But even if Rex is stunned, a fast Skywalker is still going to be tough to beat. Actually, so, for whatever it's worth, does anyone know, is the SWGOH.GG out yet? That would be huge. Nope. If General Skywalker is slow, then I will have a different feeling. If he's 160, 170, then this is going to be bumpy. A lot of their characters have been fast lately, but there's no way. Like, legitimately, who beats this team if you aren't going first? Including Mirror. Like, on paper, if Rex, or if Han can stun Rex, and then Commander Luke is fast enough to go toe-to-toe and reduce General Skywalker turn meter, I think we have a ball game. Under Shakti. Oh, that's true. This is unique, not leadership. So you could toss him with Gen 9 or Revan, that's even more speed. On paper. Well, Shakti per clone basis. You might be onto something. It's plus speed per clone, right? So if you went... Nah, it would have to be Shakti 3 clones. Like, you can't get 4 clones plus him with Shakti lead. Did I just skim it? Oh yeah, 35 speed. Yeah, it's not even speed to him. So if you just wanted a pure lockdown team, it would be Jedi Knight Revan lead, right? And... oh god. Okay. Jedi Knight Revan lead is 40% speed. Basila is 6% turn meter every time that she goes. Herman Yoda is 5% turn meter every time that he assists. How can you not just infinitely lock down teams? Unless you're going Commander Luke or Rey. If you're not first out the gate, you should be screwed. Maybe the only line of defense would be like if Malik taunts and then fears them. But that's still a cooldown increase, that's kind of just a reset button. Okay, let's change our approach. God, this is so late into the stream and everything just changed. Another way that you can read this is... team just needs to have extremely good basics. Because you basically just need to chew through him with single target damage, get him disabled so that you can get some breathing room. That's how I'm reading this right now. I think Commander Luke can actually achieve that. So that might be bonus points in their camp. I'm just not sure if shooting him first or Rex first would be better. Because even with the Terminator games, I'm pretty sure having Rex, or trying to have Commander Luke beat Rex, that's so steep. That would require such a good speed set. I'm not gonna lie, folks. This has me nervous. Like, I'm pretty sure we can just straight up build a team around this mechanic, and the enemy team doesn't get to play. Most of them don't get to play. Padme basic gives crit immunity, but it's dispellable. Yeah, this actually might just be a huge priority buff to Padme, honestly. Sorry, I was on the wrong feed. Let's see. 5s calls assist turn 1. Let's say turns... 5s will use basic on turn 2 and call Echo. Anakin should never... Does Echo even assist non-clones? I don't think he does. Nope. He will 100% assist... Well... That's a weird loophole. So Echo will assist 5-0 first, but it has to be a basic. And in 99% of scenarios, you're never going to use it. You're just going to keep looping. He would assist Ahsoka, though. Or Arc Trooper. But those are the only situations where Padme is getting undispellable avoidance. I don't think he goes that much down in value. Yeah, that's where we're at right now. I think you could just build a super fast General Skywalker Jedi Knight Revan team. Load up the turn meter gains. You could even go, like, honestly, if you just wanted pure basic attack lockdown, throw Wat on as the 5th. Go Revan, Basila, Hermit Yoda, General Skywalker, Wat. Give Skywalker the turn meter piece out of the gate. Like, how does that go wrong? How can you lose? For what if it's worth, Jedi Knight Revan is a Sith heavy team. Padme can deal with that. I don't know, guys. This is a whole lot. Yeah, I see two different team identities right now. I see cooldown lockdown or just classic 501st. And again, this all kind of really depends on General Skywalker's base speed. If he's like I think Basilisk Shan was 120 when she came out, right? Like, if it's like 120 range, then it's not the end of the world. Although, even then, if it's 120, you could use Hermit Yoda first to get him pretty fast. I've done it. I don't want to give like a knee-jerky reactionary take, but I think that there's a strong chance that this gets nerfed. Either this gets nerfed, or this no longer resets, it just lowers cooldown. That or just make this impossible to crit or something. Maybe give him like the Kylo Ren text where it's like, it can't crit, but it just gets more damage instead or something. Just how... I've got some concerns. I've got some concerns. Honestly, maybe even just get rid of this. I mean, Echo would still give him 20%, but at least it would probably require a lot better modding to get it consistently. Like, honestly, that's the biggest issue is, like, can't be resisted, which, fine, most cooldown increases can't be resisted, but you can't build for crit avoidance either. Relics give... what, 35% crit chance if you have mastery, which I'm assuming that he's a strength attacker. I don't think it actually says. He is physical, at least. He might be agility, but either way, yeah, point being, there's so much crit chance here. Like, you can't really mod to counter that. I mean, on some level, yeah, we're the beta testers, but, like, we just spent a couple hours, and, like, most of the times that we tried to poke holes in this kit, it feels like a lot of things were decently reasonable. Him at Relic 7? I don't know. If you're just going for lockdown, the only stat that matters is speed. And maybe crit chance if you're trying to, like... Actually, can Wat use basic on his bonus turn? Let me check. Start a battle against a bonus turn. I'm pretty sure he can. Okay. Basic is fair game. But at the same time, anybody who has half a brain is just going to put General Skywalker one speed below all the clone turns after Rex goes. I mean, I guess at that point, then you are technically... maybe that makes sense. It's still coin flippy, but... hell yeah. I missed the raid from Granary stream. Rest in peace. I mean, Separatists may be decently equipped here. Just... Vader unresistible ability block. But I think Vader only goes faster for Jedi and Rebels, if I recall correctly. At least in terms of enemies, right? Jedi enemy, Rebel enemy. So the team, unless the team had like 2 Ahsoka. I just don't think he's getting out in front of Rex. It's possible. But yeah, you are correct. Ability block on Anakin would solve some problems. Alright. I'm gonna add that to the pro list. At the very top. It looks done with 2 lines. How do we even think Sith Empire does against this? Says Marauder should get decent Terminator. People like Echo should get caught up. Maybe even General Skywalker AoE would get feared. I mean, that's the other thing, right? I guess crit chance. Malak is gonna have decent control. What's the exact rules on his kit? Does Malak have to be the target? If the target enemy has no protection. So if you have Sith Trooper, Malak should, in theory, Malak should never get reduced. Team is going before Darth Revan. That's... I don't care how good your mods are. Our Trooper looks good. I agree. I'm more excited for him with a Shakti clone team. Rex is 30% to non-clones, 60% to clones. So Anakin you can put at 30% -1. No, that feels stupid. I was gonna say you could stun Anakin to make him gain extra turn meter. And that would ruin the threshold, but that's still, you're still getting crit. What are the thoughts? How do we beat him? At first, I felt pretty good about Treya's chances, but then I realized the possibility of a very fast Skywalker spamming cooldown increase, and now I'm just trying to figure out if that can even be solved. Padme, maybe. Commander Luke, I think, has a decent chance, but it'll be messy. God, Streamlight's meeting you again. Yes, bad bot. He can't be isolated? No, he can. It's just if you outdamage him and... Or if you get rid of his protection, he'll get rid of it. I don't know why you keep getting timed out, dude. Is it assume? Is it just ass and assume again? There's no way. Anyway, your deleted message says, I assume we discussed CLS guard. We actually didn't. That's a decent point. This actually might give Chewie some extra stock. Wait. Chewie as a plug and play. You could guard Nihilus, and Nihilus can't be reduced. Treya will still get choked out, though. If you need CLS testing... Wait, do you have footage against Commander Luke? Or not... You have footage against General Skywalker? I want to hear this. Oh. You're 100% correct. Chewbacca actually might become super valuable here. I don't know if that solves Treya, necessarily. Nah, you're good, man. Like, there is no reason there should be footage yet, but just... You're telling me there's a chance. Yeah, seriously. I broke NDA from a beta. I guess on paper evasion, foresight, that becomes a valuable mechanic. anything that can get out of the gate ahead Rex, but that's just basically maybe Commander Luke and JTR. I'm trying to think. If Revan goes back to getting the highest speed priority, he might be able to beat Rex. I would have to run the math on that. 20% speed versus 40 speed. No, Rex should win. Easily. If it could be resisted, B2 could maybe be interesting with the potency strip, but it can't be resisted, so that's out the window. %20% hull damage is whatever, though. I'm not honestly that worried about it. Actually, that does... You are correct in that it kind of makes his Zeta make more sense. But if you're choosing between taking 20% health damage or getting your whole team's cooldowns increased, I feel like that's an easy trade. Who will cleanse the fear? What are we talking about? Oh, the unique naming. Cooldown increase, but the God, the odds of getting a cooldown increase ahead of him. Good luck. What about Rex lead? Hold on. It's an AoE daze, though. The excerpt for the protection upstopping debuffs and crit is on Padme's leadership, I'm pretty sure, right? Almost positive. Yeah. This is honestly one of the hardest teams to solve that I've seen in a while. Like, there's a clear win condition, it's just trying to get there. Nice, Sorcerer's No Way in Hell. I get this strong feeling a counter will emerge with Chewbacca guarding somebody so they can just do whatever they want. It's entirely possible that Wat Tambor might actually become really important against this team if you're just trying to outpace him. Game just updated. With what? Oh, that was just the update from yesterday getting forced, right? Game? Alright, well that's figuring itself out. What's in the update, do you know? Wait, is it the event? I don't know. Just the idea of... Honestly, I don't even think you have to get that fancy with it with Jedi Knight Revan. I mean, you could go Jedi Knight Revan lead, or you could just run this with Wat sitting here, give him the Terminator piece, and like, legit, how do you fight that? Let's see. Ah. It is indeed here. You can see him in the character screen. Do we... Okay, hold on. Do we have SWGH.G? Wait, we should be able to see this speed. Is that new Anakin art? What? His eyes look really wide apart. Ah, whatever. Speed. Give me speed. Give me speed. 125 baseline. I have no idea how many speed pieces he gets. What's like... Who's somebody I haven't built? Wrong button. 139. I'm not going to read anything into that. Does anybody... Was it like a data mine yet? Because that's going to be the biggest make or break for everything we've talked about. If he's slow, we're cool. Actually, honestly, I feel like he would have to be slow. Like the way CG designs stuff. Right, like if they make somebody a super counterattacker, they take away all of their defensive stats. There's usually a give and take. Like if he's going to cast double turns every turn, I feel like they're probably going to give him like 90 speed or something wild. Wait, no, we just saw 125 speed. That's out the window. What are you? What song is this? That's kind of cool. Does anybody have a number? I'm actually going to hunt through Discord real quick. Folks, I don't even know if I care about this anymore. Wait, do you have a gear list, DSP? Wait. This is such a huge deal. Like, obviously it's not going to do anything for General Skywalker fighting, but if this means regen piece is going on B2 now, Grievous just got a huge buff. Sorry for the clap, by the way. I hope that wasn't loud. I'm not sure. Maybe that was a GBA thing? Sorry, I really hope that clap wasn't loud. I was not expecting that. I thought they would. In my mind, I didn't think that CG saw it as an issue. Now quickly gains turn meter. That was also something that I knew. That's a huge nerf to Commander. Wait, this patch is so huge. So Commander Luke. So for those of you who don't know, Sith Marauder was never getting turn meter when Chewie assisted. Just assuming not counting G12 finisher. Gotcha. So let's ballpark it then. 20 from Gear 12 Plus. And I don't know. Let's guess like maybe 20 from normal gear pieces. That puts him at 165. That's a pretty high number. I mean, at minimum we can say he's 145, and even if 145 is his final number, I think that's still a little bit too fast for what he can do. So this is actually potentially a huge nerf to Luke versus Traya. Sorry, I just sent that. Not seeing anything else crazy. Anyway, so the reason why I was so down on Wat Tambor before had a lot to do with this. There are still issues. The order of operations on his assist is that he assists first. So if you put the gear piece on B1, and either you're attacking or you're getting attacked by a traded team, B1 can no longer target lock. Basically, no one on your team will ever be able to debuff Padme. And B1 was basically the only chance you ever had to get target lock out. So that part pissed me off a lot. But still, if we can mod this team to get the regen piece on B2, Bastille is 100% dead. I would say it was already dead against good mods, but this kills it. Easy. We're still here, dude. This stream had waves. So basically, the biggest reason we're still alive is putting the pieces together on what this potentially means and trying to figure out how that works. I'll probably wrap up soon. I feel like we've said most of the stuff there is to say at this point. It's just about testing. Yeah. Silas versus Darth Revan may be dead now, and Separatist droids with Wat Tambor just got a massive buff. That's almost exciting, as exciting to me as a Skywalker kit reveal. Say what I highlighted. Oh, sorry. Wat Tambor will no longer put the regen piece on B1. He always did that because he always puts it on the lowest HP and protection character. It's confirmed we fight Malevolence too. So much information today. Yep. That's honestly why I was so negative about. Ooh, hello. Deal damage to General Grievous' soulless one. That's kind of cool. What is that title? That's pretty cool. This is a 5-star confirmation, right? This is the same format as Malik. It has to be a 5-star plus GET unlock. I figure. There are so many achievements. There we go. Should be this one. That'd be cool. Link to what? Do I need a max mace fleet? Why are you assuming that it needs maxed? I mean, we shouldn't know until the event starts, right? We just kind of gotta go in and start rolling the dice. So a ton of achievements, most of them cosmetic. I think all of them cosmetic, right? That's kind of dope. That's extremely cocky, but maybe. Checking actually with you, GG, one more time. Nope. Oh, article you sent confirmed the 5-star unlock. My bad. Where does it confirm? So the way that the counter worked right now, Marauder wasn't getting turn meter whenever Chewie assisted. There's so many tabs now. So in theory, at best case scenario, if Sith Marauder keeps on hitting guarded people, then I'm not going to pretend that you're just going to get absolutely rolled. But if it's like a high relic Sith Marauder, this is going to hurt. Like if he slings at Chewie once, right? Because let's say Han shoots first. That's 20%. If you have Luke guarded, either if he has good speed mods, he's going before Luke, or if you have let's say average speed mods, then he's going after Luke. But that's pretty fast. If it's a good modded Marauderman, where do you guys know? The game, it says 145. Yeah, okay, like to be clear, it's like a 95% chance that it's gonna be the same format as Malik, but it's a 4-phase event. They could do like unlock at wave 2, finish at wave 4 or something. That was actually an idea that I liked, is if you can do like maybe half the event, then you unlock him but have to finish with GET, but if you can do the whole event, then get the whole character. That could be cool. Basically no character required. The last one could be hard. I don't know. Again, just an idea. Odds are extremely low of it actually happening. I'm not gonna lie. Excited for General Skywalker as I am. The opportunities here are gonna be so sick. I was already becoming a pretty big fan of tank modding on B2, but this is just a whole nother level. I wailed. Dude, I almost had the event free to play. I had infinite power, as the song was saying. We had so much gear. All of the gear. 3 Zetas. Just a very comfy place to be in. But I ended up spending money. Would you like to know what on? It wasn't character shards. I did my due diligence with Shakti, even though I was absolutely terrified that she wasn't going to be needed. It was... I gotta spend ship energy. I'm not even gonna say it. Peace out, Jeffrey. We're probably gonna close out here, so you're not gonna miss much. We've said anything and everything that could be said. It's gonna be messy testing, I think. Yeah, I had to spend money on ship credits because I just got Negotiator. It was just like, I don't want to talk about it. I just got Negotiator. I was feeling pretty comfy. Bought some mods from the mod store. Mistakes happened. It wasn't even a mistake, whatever. Like if I don't see as much difference between if I had to spend like $40 on Shakti shards or whatever. It's you paid to get into the event, right? Yeah, 125 at 0 feels fast. Unless they pull some weird Jordica thing, he's gonna be oh sorry, I was clicking around. Yeah. I bought these dump packs. $40 of these dump packs to get endurance ready. Yeah, Anakin Skywalker is going to be 145 at minimum, assuming he has 0 speed gear pieces. That's the lockdown team is a huge concern for me. That's going to be the first thing I test, honestly. Probably Jedi Revan lead, because he's going to be a 5-star unlock, so he's not going to have the relic speed, or not relic, gear 13 speed. So just use Jedi Revan, brute force him, and just start going into loops. What are the Zetas? I actually didn't read. So this is a Zeta. I'm assuming... Oh wait, 5 required. Weird. Is this a Zeta? That actually might be skippable. Honestly? Let's check the article. Probably should have. Zeta. 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 Zeta on basic. Yep, 4 Zetas. I don't know how necessary this feels to me. It can't hurt, but just... Guys, I'm terrified of the lockdown idea. It's gonna be the first thing I test. We'll find out. If nothing else, I don't see, like, Theorycrafting should triumph unless it just gets nerfed. Which it's entirely possible that might just have to get nerfed, but I don't see how that team can lose on offense. Yeah, I agree. I'm pretty picky with my Zetas. What was that? Rank 3. Wait, shouldn't I have been ranked 2? Or I guess I tie with the... How does it even work? I've never lost a Grand Arena before. Oh, it's all the same for 2 to 4. But shouldn't I have been second place, though? Ah, whatever. Alright. We've been streaming forever. Let's call it a stream. Can you find Anakin shards in game, please? Shouldn't it just point to his event? Yeah. See? Oh, you wanted to see if it was in the store. Didn't the store... I don't think the store actually updated until the event started with the shards, right? That's a good idea. Peace out, Rooster. We'll see. I'm not gonna have 7-star if it is. Alright, let's call it there. Peace out, chat.